Alright, beautiful people, now we're going to make our turkey meatballs that we're having for Thanksgiving dinner. Because Callie's on the lazy side this Thanksgiving and it's not making a whole turkey or chicken. So, you take this is the basic recipe. A pound of ground turkey, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise or sour cream. I want to use mayonnaise. And panko, which is breadcrumbs, but we're going to use stovetop stuffing because it already has the herbs already in it. And Callie likes to take shortcuts, so you use half a cup of these little. I can get it out of the box. And half a cup of this. So it's 1 egg, pound of meat, 2 tablespoons, and a half a cup. We're doubling our recipe because go big or go home. We're going to take 2 pounds of meat, 2 eggs, 4 tablespoons, and I'm going to mix this up before you add it. So we're going to set half of it aside for Thanksgiving meal. Put half of it after it's prepared into the mixture. And this is a flexible recipe, as all recipes are. You can do add-ins. I mean, this one was really designed to be flexible. You can add like onions or other spices or celery, or, So I thought we'd add some olives. Yes, not the whole can, obviously, but we're going to add some. And mushrooms. Mushrooms. And look what I bought. This to be extra fancy. Minced garlic. Now, usually I got garlic powder, but yesterday when I was at Walmart, I felt fancy. And I couldn't find the garlic powder, so we just went with this. Minced garlic. Alright. Yes. Let's get it going. Alright, so we got our 2 pounds of meat, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Now, if you're wondering why I switched mayonnaise, because I ran out of the other one, I opened a new bottle. That's the only reason. And we're going to put in about half of this, the stovetop. Now, you're probably wondering why my stovetop's a little fluffier than other people's. Because, where's those directions? There they are. What it says to use a cup and a half. And I feel like that makes it dry. So I put 2.5 cups. I use about a cup more to make it nice and soft and fluffy. Anyway, we're going to put about half of this in there and get it stirred up. And we'll be right back. This would be like your basic ingredients. Your meat, your eggs, your mayonnaise or sour cream, and your panko or stuffing. Hey, Mr. Salem, can you eat onions? No? Okay, Mommy won't add them to the meatballs. Okay, thank you. Since some of our family members can't have onion, and this is a family meal, we're not adding any onions, but if you did, you probably would want to brown them in a pan with a little butter, a little oil, and set them aside to cool, and then add them to your stuffing mix before you put it in with the rest of the ingredients, because hot onions would probably fry them eggs. Just saying. So I got it all stirred up, and now we're back. Now we're going to add a tablespoon of this garlic. Minced garlic. Now, cats can have garlic in moderation. Alright. And now I chopped up our olives and our mushrooms, but they won't come off the plate. I'll get that in a second. So basically, I used about a third cup of this. And I'll set that aside for another recipe. And then I used about a half of these mushrooms or olives. half of the olives, a third of the mushrooms, and then a tablespoon of the garlic. Now you want to mix that all up and roll you out some little meatballs, and you use parchment paper and place them on like a cookie sheet, or I'm using a pizza pan because I don't want a cookie sheet. So we got the parchment paper on the pan, and well, you gotta scoop them out. So basically roughly the same size so they bake even. And through the magic of TV, we'll be back to look at that. Okay, so we got them all rolled out in balls. Yes, they squished down a little bit as they set. And I didn't have a big enough pan, honestly, so I used my heart-shaped pan. I usually use this for pizza too, like heart-shaped pizzas. And I got 3 of them on there, so we got 12 of these big jumbo-sized meatballs. Oh, I added salt and pepper. That might be important. Don't forget to add salt and pepper. It said to taste. What's that supposed to mean? You can't taste them till after they're done. By then it's usually too late, right? I mean, whatever. If you're gonna mix the salt and pepper in before you cook them, you can't mix the taste. Anyway, we're gonna get this oven started on. Let's get it. Alright, so we're gonna hit the bake button, 350, and start. Now we're gonna let it preheat. Now, I already got that in there. Now remember to take your little plastic piece off. If you bought a pan that has one of them, it'll be fine for him to sit in there. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and put them all in there, even while it is preheating. I know you're not supposed to do that, but yeah. I've been standing up quite a while. My back hurts. And I want to take a substantial break here. So let that cook for about 45 minutes, each of them. That's what the recipe calls for. You're supposed to bake your vegetable casserole for 45 minutes, and these meatballs also cook for 45 minutes. So that's why I'm baking them together. It's clever, right? You just bake them both at the same time. Alright, so we're gonna go sit down. Have us a good little rest. And then we'll be back. See the finished product. Okay? Okay, so we baked these meatballs for 45 minutes. Then I put it under the broiler a couple minutes to brown them all nice. And you're like, why are they in this pan? I have limited pans, so I needed the other pan for my crescent rolls. So I went ahead and put them in this pan. It's perfect to save you leftovers. And the reason why I used 2 pounds of meat, because it only makes, 1 pound would have made 6. 2 pounds makes 12. And if we eat 2 each, that would be only 1 meal. And I like to have Thanksgiving leftovers. So hence the 2 pounds of meat. We got our potatoes already. Basically just cut up potatoes, cubed them, boiled them, add a little bit of milk and a stick of butter, salt and pepper, and I mashed them up. Now our meatballs were going to go on top of the potatoes covered in gravy. Now remember, we got the gravy in jar sauce, jar gravy. We'll just heat that up. Alright, beautiful people, it's time to plate up our dinner. Alright, we're going to put some potatoes over here. You're not looking at the potatoes because oh, just so you know that part. Sorry. Alright, you got your potatoes. And then I'm going to add a couple of these little meatballs here. Juicy meatballs. Alright. And we're going to put some gravy over it. Oh, gravy. Feel that sizzle. The gravy. Alright. And then we got casserole, but I can't do that with one hand. So I'll be back. We'll show that. The kid's kind of gravity's hungry. Alright, so we got it all plated up. We got our meatballs on our bed of mashed potatoes with the gravy on top, the vegetable casserole. We got sweet potatoes, which is basically a can of sweet potatoes cut up with butter and marshmallows on top. And green beans, come straight from the can. And these crescent rolls. Yes, that's Thanksgiving dinner 2022 in the record books. Tuck in, kids. Yes. Meanwhile, this kid's like hovering over here, waiting. Okay, waiting. Give me the food. And this guy's like, ooh, yeah.
That's mine.
All right, it's sitting on the rolls. I don't have any counter space. All right, man, get your food. Yes. Let me make Patrick's food. He's in there biting at the bits too. Chomping at the bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.